Participating in the meeting via Zoom.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Bernie.
Can you attend by Zoom?
Right. Good evening, all, and welcome to the reorganization meeting at the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills Board of Adjustment. Today is Wednesday, January 12th, 2022, and it is 7:35 p.m. With the appointments, reappointments sworn in, the new members, I'm going to open the floor for nominations for Chairperson of the Board of Adjustment.
Nominate Bob King.
Second, Willens.
Any other nominations?
You need a motion to close nomination.
Make a motion to close nomination, pass unanimous ballot?
Second, Snyder. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Right, I will now open the floor for nominations for Vice Chairperson of the Board of Adjustment.
I nominate David Kaplan.
Second, ready?
Any other nominations? Motion to close nominations.
So moved, Snyder.
Second.
And at this point, we will let the chairman take over.
Was there a vote on the vice?
Yeah, I don't think we said aye, right?
Yeah, we did not. We need to call the roll on the vice chair.
All right, I apologize. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
We'll let
Bernie.
chairman take over now.
Okay, so now we need to reaffirm of though it says planning board secretary, but the zoning board secretary.
I make a motion to reaffirm Planning Board Secretary, Zoning Board Secretary Nora Jolie.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion to
Congratulations.
appoint planner.
So moved, Snyder.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion to appoint the engineer, Jazz Holloway.
So moved, Snyder.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you. And,
Motion to appoint an attorney.
Can I recommend Peter King?
Yes, you can.
Second, Snyder.
Jaskowitz.
I nominate Bill Johnson from Johnson & Johnson. Is there a second?
Second, Willens.
Any discussion? I think we're gonna need a vote.
Need it. You vote on the first.
You have a paper ballot, Nora, please?
You don't
pass?
do, you do by,
Roll
in
call.
person, by roll call.
Okay. Do the roll call.
Okay, one moment.
No, we don't discuss.
We don't have to discuss.
Berkowitz.
Well, this is, so the first nomination was for Peter
Pete,
King, so
right.
a vote for yes would be for Peter King. If those votes, if Peter King does not get 4 votes, then that motion would fail, and then you would vote on the second nomination, Bill Johnson.
Bernie? Did you vote, Bernie?
Tell me again what I'm voting for.
The first nomination was for Peter King, so a yes vote would be for Peter King, a no vote would not be for Peter King. So you're voting for Peter King as the attorney.
All right, my vote would be no.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
Willens.
They have the 4 votes, so I'll abstain.
Myra King.
No vote. I guess that concludes the reorganization meeting.
Motion to close that reorganization meeting and open the regular scheduled meeting.
So moved, Snyder.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, let's do the flag salute. I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are you okay, sir? Oh. What the hell are you doing? At this point in this evening's meeting, is there any member of the public that has any business to be brought to this board that is not on this evening's agenda? I hear none and see none. Bernie, if you want to comment on anything, Bernie, then you're gonna need to speak out because I just turned you around so you can, I guess you're facing the ceiling now, aren't you?
Yeah, I've seen the ceiling.
And how is that?
That's better.
Good,
I can see Frank very well.
good.
We're gonna call roll.
Yes, you can call roll.
Mr. Berkowitz.
Here.
Mr. Jaskowitz.
Here.
Mr. Kaplan.
Here.
Mr. Mazzarella.
Here.
Mr. Parikh.
Here.
Mr. Reddy.
Present.
Ms. Snyder.
Here.
Mr. Willens.
Here.
Chairman Irakane. We also have with
Present.
us our board planner, Mr. Chadwick, our board engineer, Mr. Holloway, and our board attorney, Mr. King.
Present.
Present. Here. And Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman.
When you called the roll, Nora, did you call Chris Mazzarella?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right, then Davy's losing his hearing, so that's okay. Okay, we have a resolution to vote on, application 2159 Teva Pharmaceutical, which was a sign variance. Someone like to move that?
So moved. Second, ready?
Any discussion? Nora, call the roll.
Berkowitz. Berkowitz.
Bernie?
Chivas.
Okay.
What was that? Okay, Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Reddy.
Yes.
Irakane.
Yes. 2123, 135 North Everbrook Road. Variance for tutoring and laundromat. Someone like to move that?
So moved.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Any discussion? Nora, call the roll.
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Reddy.
Yes.
Snyder.
Nora, did I vote for this, please?
Yes, he did.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Willens.
Yes.
Irakane.
Yes. Any other correspondence, Nora?
No other correspondence.
Hey, Nora, when is the used car lot on?
It's supposed to be next, Wednesday, not next Wednesday, meeting. I have not heard from them.
Next meeting?
They have only a couple more days to get anything in. However, there's an escrow issue. And
Have you contacted Mr. O'Neill and?
I'm going to have to contact him, and he's not staying on top of his client, so.
He doesn't know anything about it?
No, he does know.
He does know.
He knows he has to get, revised plans in, and he knows about the escrow. It was sent to him.
That's Zoom, right?
Yeah, it's annoying. Very, very annoying. We've been dealing with this
I
long.
was gonna say, we gotta hear that.
Cars in the street.
Cars are in the street.
Oh, yeah. Terrible, I was down there today.
All right, so let's go to the agenda. Application 2122, Susan Farfaro, tenant, seeking C variance to legalize a carport tent-like structure for storage. I went by this property today.
Who's going to provide testimony? Just you? Okay, if you could raise your right hand, you swear affirm testimony about to give the board the true self you got? And for the record, can you state and spell your name?
Susan Farfaro, F like in Frank, U-R, F like in Frank, A-R-O.
And you're the owner of the subject property, 81 Fox Hill Road?
No, we're the tenant.
Okay, tenant. And you have the owner has given you permission to make this
We
application?
provided Nora with a letter of permission prior to us even leasing the property.
Thank you, you're sworn, so you can have a seat.
Okay, thank you.
Well, there's an issue, I guess, before the board starts, there's an issue about the application. there's an encroachment into the right of way of the towns. It's not even the jurisdiction of this board because we cannot give that relief.
The tent, storage tent is, almost 25 feet beyond from the line of the street back. So it's set back 25 feet.
Your survey shows it in the street.
Oh, no.
No,
That's
what you're misunderstanding, the edge of the road is not the property line.
Oh.
That's just the edge of the road. So the property line is probably 15 or more feet inside of that.
Okay.
And that's where the public right-of-way ends. And your survey that you submitted shows the hoop house in the street. And what Pete King just said to you was, the zoning board can't grant in the public right-of-way. So, you're kind of at a,
But it's 25 feet set back.
did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did, but I don't.
The fact that the road, the actual pavement, I mean, there are cases in Parsippany in some of the older areas that the street and the right-of-way don't match. The whole road's out of the street, physical road is not even in the right-of-way. In your case, the physical road is quite a ways away from the property line. So I don't doubt you that there's 25 feet of space between the edge of the road and your tent. But that you need to explain to the council in order that they say, okay, we'll give you a lease or whatever they do. I mean, they may not. They may just say, no, get it out of the street. But we can't do that.
And if we go and if we issue a decision today, then you can never come back here.
Oh, I see.
It's not in the street.
It's in the right of way, so.
It's not in the right of way.
But on your application, it shows that it's in the right of way. Well, that's what the board has before it. And with this application and with this, document, it shows that it is in the right of way.
Property is not buildable at all. It's not a buildable
Okay.
property.
You have to understand, that's not our problem. Tell me what's in the tent that's so important you have to keep on your property.
The house does not have any storage, no closets, no basement, no attic, no crawl space, nothing. So when I went to lease this property, we paid additional, money to, lease the space across the street, which happens to be, owned by the same landlord. And that property was leased for 6 years by us, so we could put a storage tent on that property. So
Excuse me, look,
Oh.
you didn't answer the question. What do you keep in there?
Christmas, items, clothes,
Well, are you aware of the availability of storage facilities in this town? Where you
Sure.
could go rent a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 15? Where because if you're not using your Christmas stuff
I
50
under-
weeks out of the year, if you have winter clothes, summer clothes,
But
So
that
let me-
costs
wait,
extra
can I-
money
wait.
when I'm already paying extra money
well,
for that property.
well, and then,
That's why I leased that property.
well, then,
That's,
I'm
look,
sorry,
look,
Mr. Chairman, could I
that has no bearing on my clothes. My clothes have no bearing on it, okay?
Your
Now,
choice.
can I ask a question? So when I went to look at this property today, I was looking for 81.
right,
That's where you live?
yes,
And the storage thing is across the street?
yes.
No, yeah. So could I just try something here? Your survey shows one thing, and if it's incorrect, but this board cannot, okay, grant you a variance based on this information we have. That's the point. You're here for us to do something we cannot do tonight. Do you understand it?
All right.
Okay. Your picture, I see your point. Your picture clearly indicates to me your tent is off the street.
Way off the
Okay.
street.
I can see that in picture.
Behind the wall, way
That's
off.
fine. That's not the issue. The issue is, based on the property lines, okay? Your tent, or whatever it is there, is encroaching upon an area that we cannot approve to give you the variance in.
Okay.
Now, however, Mr. Chairman, the council of the town can do that. Is that true? Or who can give them that variance? Or who can give that approval?
The town would have to, it's their right, it's their easement.
Right.
Usually it's kept for water, sidewalks,
Yeah.
to open the road if they need to get an extra lane in there.
Okay. So based on what you've shown here, you don't want us to vote on this tonight because we can't do that, in my opinion, okay?
No.
I couldn't vote in favor of it, so could you go back and get the easement someplace else? And if you don't get satisfaction there, maybe come back here again?
How, what am I supposed
I don't
to
know.
do? Instead of the variance that I already,
No, it's not a variance.
This document you have,
yes,
who drew the tent in on the document?
that,
Mr. Saperstein on this, Michael Saperstein?
The old survey.
That's the old-
And that survey shows the tent, or did you draw the tent in?
I'm not sure. That particular one was done by the landlord's, not architect, by the landlord's, surveyor.
Well, he's showing the tent in the right of way, so.
But, he's, passed away now and it's gone, and we tried to get in touch with that person, but, last year. But he,
Mr. King, the photographic evidence here, to me, okay, if this picture is correct on that road, that tent is definitely not in the right of way.
Well,
Definitely not.
So,
Yes, it is.
No,
It's not in-
It's not in the street.
it's on the street, but
Not in the street.
picture if a sidewalk was there.
I got it. Okay, the sidewalk would be the right of way. So if they, town has a sidewalk along the side of the street, that's in the right of way.
Yes.
Now I got it. Do you have it? You understand?
What is the
I-
infringing upon is what we're trying to point out.
The right of way.
That's not the issue.
It's on the property line on the back side of the property.
Okay.
Not on the front side of the property. We don't understand what you're trying to say.
We cannot approve the application as presented.
So what you're gonna need to do is talk to the town engineer, all right?
and ask the town engineer what
Well,
specifically.
if the chairman directs the, board secretary to talk to, the zoning officer, she'll advise as to the issue that we have, and that is, your survey shows that the tent would be in the right of way where a sidewalk would go. So that the town, again, from the curb into your property, there's a right of way, there's a strip of land that's set aside for the town to either increase the road, to put another lane.
How many feet did that take?
Well, I think maybe 15 plus. I don't know.
We don't know.
This road was done long before you had, probably a planning board in Parsippany.
Oh.
Probably, yeah, it's a lake,
And where the road is placed, and where the right-of-way that the town owns, in modern subdivisions, the road is right in the middle of the road, is 10 feet of grass on either side to the right-of-way line. In this case, that road is shifted way over to one side. That's why you think you've got plenty of room in the front. Physically, you have plenty of room in the front, but you don't own it. You can't lease it because it's a public right-of-way. You need to go to the township administrator's office, ask to be put on the council's agenda, explain to them what the problem is, and they may or may not say, yes, you can have this, and if they do, you're gonna wind up with a lease agreement of some sort to encroach in the right-of-way.
Okay?
Will they have to come back here?
No.
Yeah,
Well, they will?
I think there's impervious, right?
Yeah, because there's other variances that are recorded, aren't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just, but we could,
Utilities on the property would.
Small amount.
The empty lot that's not built.
has nothing to do with
Okay.
And
what,
coverage.
we can't deal with the right of way, that's it. It's like the end of the world to the zoning board.
We're figuring a sidewalk would take maybe 5, 6 feet. You got
Well, that-
25.
we don't know.
You
We
keep
don't know.
going
Plead your
back
case to
that.
them.
It's irrelevant. It's the
Trying to
space,
figure out what the
this-
right of way would be for
yeah.
the town.
What's relevant is the edge of the pavement to the front of your tent, and that you can convince the council that this encroachment isn't a public safety hazard, period.
And let me just throw a wild card out to you. After you go through that entire exercise, and you have to come back to us for impervious coverage, you still have to prove your case that you need this tent, okay?
This tent, obviously, we would never have leased this property at all. And we were told from the very
Hold off on all that,
beginning.
we're never gonna remember that, okay? Whenever you come,
Yes.
then tell us when we're hearing the case,
Sure, you
so we
want-
hear the
want
facts
to
in
carry
their
this?
entirety.
Oh,
Could I just make one final
Yeah.
point? What size is this tent?
It's 12, I believe it's, the exact measurements are there.
I think they are,
it's-
but can you get a smaller tent?
12 by 20.
12 by 20, right?
Yes.
12 by
Yes,
20.
yes.
So what if
12
you
by
had
20.
a smaller tent? Just think about it. We can't tell you what to do, but
What would the size have to do
I
with
just
it?
gave you a lot of really good advice, I would just.
yeah, we gave you all the advice we can give you here. You gotta
I think
go-
you may want to ask the board to carry this, so you have time to talk to
Yeah,
the town officials, i.e. either
okay,
the administrator or, the engineer. I think Nora will go to talk to the zoning officer to try to help you out here.
okay.
You're gonna have to provide.
It'd be a huge hardship
Okay,
for us.
I understand, but you're gonna have to provide extensions on the application to the board.
Okay. All right.
Looking up a date. Huh?
No, you can give it to the board verbally right now tonight, and/or give a letter to the, board secretary. I don't know if that's a certain process.
Yes.
Could we ask for an extension of some kind?
Yes.
We would
Nora,
be
when
able
can you
to.
put this case on again?
I am checking.
Okay. Is there going to be more cost than what we've already spent?
No, that's what, by asking for the extension, you don't have to renotice.
Oh, okay,
That's why we're
okay.
trying to do this.
Just give me a moment.
I would suggest, Nora, that you put it down a ways, because the council is probably not gonna have this on the top of their agenda.
Give them enough time, like.
Let's put them on in April then.
April, okay?
April 6th?
As long as you think I could accomplish whatever you think I need to do.
Best shot. Go for it.
Okay.
April 5th?
April 6th.
April
Okay.
6th, motion to carry this case to
So
April
moved.
6th without
Second,
further notice,
Jaskowitz.
and with whatever extensions are required. You must give Nora a written extension, okay? We'll see you on April 6th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
luck.
Good
Thank
luck to you, but,
Good luck.
kind of an uphill path.
All right, thank you very much.
I would recommend prior to the April 6th meeting, everyone go and seize this thing. Please. It's an interesting one. Okay, next case is, application 2145, Santan Patel, 107 Harrison. See variance to legalize a shed and patio and install a patio extension. Mr. Patel, are you present?
Are both of you gonna provide testimony?
Yes.
Okay, if you could both, raise your right hands, you swear firm testimony you're about to give before the board's true self you got?
Yes.
And for the record, can you state your name? Okay, and you're the owners of 107 Harrison Road, correct? All right, thank you, you're sworn, you can have a seat. Mr. Chairman, the witnesses are sworn.
Alrighty, so your application actually says to legalize the shed and patio and install a patio extension. So, the patio that's there, you want to legalize, and the shed that was there, did you
Yeah.
put those in, or were they when you bought the house?
No, it wasn't there.
You put them in?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm looking at your survey, and I'm trying to figure out where you want
Oh, here it is.
patio extension on, behind your house, is that correct?
Yes.
And you have a patio around the shed.
Yes.
Now, your shed is 3 foot off the property lines, rear and side, where 6 is required. I guess you didn't know this when you put the shed up?
Yeah.
Have you had any discussions with your neighbors, that the fact that this shed is, closer to the property lines than required? Have your neighbors talked to you about it at all?
No.
Nobody's talked to you
No.
about it? And you have a patio with a zero clearance, side yard and rear yard. And tell me, the patio you want to put in now, what side, how big is that gonna be? Tell me you want to put a 269 square foot patio expansion, where's that?
Mr. Chairman, I think it's already in, is it not?
Yes.
The patio extension? I thought I read that it was to
I thought we were legal.
No,
install, it says, install a patio.
already some pavers are there, right? Yeah. And now, apart from that, this patio is going? I mean, there will be more patios, like, the blocks.
So there's pavers there now,
Yeah.
they were there when you bought the house,
Yeah, they were there, yes.
and you want to extend that?
Extend them, yes.
Okay,
So
now,
how-
now I think I understand.
Extend them till, because I don't have the survey with me, but it will show on the survey, like, where I want them.
Well, how far off the property line are you gonna put the patio?
Exactly, I don't know, because I don't have the survey with me right now.
Looks like it's right on.
Your survey
Looks
says,
like it's going right up to the property line. Is that your plan, to put it right up to the property line?
All the way?
There's a fence along your property line, right?
Yeah, there is a fence.
And you're gonna put the patio right out to the fence?
No, inside.
Well, what we have in front of us shows right out to the fence.
No, it should be inside. It's not outside, it's inside only.
So to legalize it, you need to, it would have to be, that's a side, you would have to be 6 feet off the property line.
What was it again?
6 feet.
Your patio could not encroach within 6 feet of the property line.
And at that end, they only have 7.8 feet. Is there a sidewalk that goes around the back corner of your house? Is there a back door that you can come in?
Yeah, there is a back door, yeah.
You come in your driveway, and you can walk around the corner of your house and in
Yeah,
the
I can
back.
walk around, yeah.
Okay. That sidewalk is conforming. Anything beyond that sidewalk needs a variance.
That's why you're here.
That's why you're here.
Okay, because I'm not gonna put the blocks over there by the sidewalk.
You're not?
There is a fencing door when you go up to the sidewalk.
Okay. Where are you gonna, the survey we have right now
Okay?
shows that you want to put your new patio
Yeah.
almost the entire length of along the back of your house and up to the fence. And that's, you just said that's not what you're doing. Is there an air conditioner back there?
There is air conditioning, yeah.
And the plan that we have shows from the corner, when you come up your driveway and go around the corner, from that corner of your house,
Okay.
almost the entire length of the back of the house, you want to pave.
No, it should be inside. Like, there should be a door, like a fencing door, but the block should, like the paver should be inside, not the outside.
I think you need to take a look at your survey,
Yeah,
and you can't ask the board to act on something that we're guessing at.
Okay.
And you also should consider staying within the 6 feet setback, because you've already got encroachment on 2 other places, and I don't think we're gonna continue to permit you to do encroachments back there. That's my opinion.
You both look surprised at that comment. Do you understand what the chairman just said? You do, okay. So where you want to put those patios, say all the way to the fence, shouldn't happen, okay?
It's not that it's on the other side of the fence, it shouldn't be up to the fence either. It should be 6 feet off of that.
6 feet off of the fence?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not that it can't go on the other side of the fence,
Okay.
it's gotta be 6 feet, 10 feet.
You're in an R4 zone, and you have a conforming lot, 6,000 square feet. You've actually got 6,187 square feet. Normally, when we're giving variances in lots that are in Lake Hiawatha, Lake Parsippany, places like that, it's where they're substandard lots, we tend to be a little bit more forgiving. You've got a standard sized lot, so, you better rework where it says 108.80 there, where you've got these lines.
Okay.
We need more definition there as to what you want to do. Okay,
Okay.
because this shows you going right up to the property line. And I can't tell how wide, how did you?
It looks like 7, 8, and 10, something.
Well,
I see, okay.
The house is a little catty corner to the property line.
so on the workup, it's 22 feet by 9.5.
So it's right to the property line.
Yes, Chairman, there is a report from our engineer that says that, item number 1 in his report.
Report from the engineer?
Yes, it says entire rear of the
I read
property.
this today, yes.
I'll tell you in a minute.
So is this your whole backyard is pavement?
Yeah,
No
See that?
grass?
no grass.
So that's what you have to understand is that's gonna throw off, because that's not reported there, that's gonna throw off the percentages we were given.
Yeah, see that?
So we,
No, I mean, on the, like, where the shed is, there is some grass over there.
Yeah, but
not on the other,
what
like,
the report says
okay,
is that you have impervious coverage in your yard based on their site inspection.
okay,
That is not on the diagram you submitted.
okay,
The numbers we're given that we have to decide on reflect what you submitted, so they're not accurate.
okay,
So where it says right now, your proposed impervious coverage is 42.58%, it could be 50, it could be 43, it could be 90.
okay.
That's hard to vote on.
You can't vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Nora, you got a date?
What do I need to do, like?
As I say,
You
let's
need to
make
come
sure
back
that,
with some more information. You gotta true up this documents
Okay,
and tell us exactly what's there.
okay,
You might want to take some pictures to make it easier,
okay, sure.
okay?
Yeah.
So you're gonna ask for this to be adjourned or carried, and you're gonna give, consent for any additional time, the board would need.
Nora, what you got?
Come on,
Wait,
Do I
hold on.
need to give
April
more
6th.
details about it,
I
like,
think
what's
we're
that?
working in good faith with this applicant. I
Yeah.
think we should just advise them that as you rework these plans, to more
Okay.
accurately reflect what's back there,
Okay,
you come back and start thinking about scaling back on this impervious coverage.
oh, okay.
So do you know what impervious coverage is?
No,
Okay, so that's where the water can't get back into the ground naturally,
okay,
so that it tends to go elsewhere.
okay,
So there are limits to how much land you can own that has this coverage.
okay,
So you need to really be, get into that. The board really looks upon impervious coverage because we're very concerned about the water
okay,
and you sending water to neighbors or whatever.
Okay.
So that's why the suggestion is also maybe making it smaller.
Have
So-
you read this memo from
the engineers,
September 15th from Justin Lizza from the engineer department?
okay,
Have you read that memo?
no,
You need a copy of it.
okay,
That memo shares concerns
okay,
with the board. That's part of what's gonna go into our decision-making process. Okay. So you should read that and understand what what needs to be fixed.
Have you ever seen that, Svena?
He said no.
No, they said they don't.
You want a copy?
This, coming before this board can be a daunting task, okay, and understanding what you need to do to get approval. We have to base on what we have here, okay? And people can help you understand what it is you would need to do, so you don't need to come to us, okay, on your property.
Here.
Okay?
You can
Once
take
you do that, you might not need that. okay?
What's the date, Nora?
April 6th.
April
I
6th.
know,
We're gonna
but,
carry this
you know.
case to April 6th.
Okay.
You do not need to notice anybody. Notice is being given right now. This meeting is being carried, this case is being carried to April 6th. What you do need to do is give Nora a letter of extension, giving us time to going forward, okay?
Take this.
Mr. Chairman, somebody.
Yeah, but
Well,
Nope.
it's not time for comments, I'm sorry,
And
because they haven't presented their case yet. If you have a question of these witnesses, I can let you ask a question, but I can't let you make a comment right
I
now.
would like to make a question.
We'll come up and ask your
I would
question.
like to know how they're.
Come
No,
up
you-
here.
Come on, you gotta come up and
Come.
identify yourself.
Sir, for the record, when you come up here, please state your name and address.
David Murray, 109 Harrison Road. I'm the neighbors. Basically, I built a new home. It doesn't make a difference. I don't care whether they want to put in a patio or shed.
Excuse me, please ask a question.
I would like to know how they're going to control the water, considering I flooded in my basement twice, and third time where it came into water.
So that'll be part of their presentation when they come back. Right now,
Okay.
the information that they gave us is incomplete. So
Okay.
you'll have a chance on April 6th when they have to come back.
All I heard was the perimeter, the size, extension, but there is a concern over.
That's all we got to,
Yeah.
we get to the
The
next
engineer
step.
pointed out that the survey does not reflect what's out there. And they seem to be confused on at least what they wanted, what the plan showed, so it was scrambled eggs.
Got it. I have a huge concern over the water.
So do we.
I do have a comment on that, because since he stated
It's
that.
not time.
Not time.
It's not time, you still have to present your case.
Okay.
Save it for April 6th.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Was the motion, do I have a motion to April 6th on this application?
So move, Snyder.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So, thank you, Bernie.
Welcome back, Bernie.
Read this carefully. Mhm.
You should turn him around.
Bernie's at home
You gotta turn him around.
watching the,
No, just take that. No,
who's
just
got-
that one.
Who's got a copy for him?
No, I gave it to him. He has it. That is it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You may want to discuss this with your neighbor as well.
Okay, application 2177, Stephen and Emily Coglin, 63 North Place.
Right now,
Same
it's
issue as-
engineer.
There's a note down here. Not the structures in the right. If you're ready, who's going to provide testimony? All three of you? Okay, if you, all three raise your right hands, you swear firm testimony about to give to the board's true self you got. And for the record, ma'am, what's your name?
Emily Coughlin.
And yours, sir?
Jimmy Lau.
And are you,
I'm a landscape architect in that.
okay, so you're going to provide expert testimony?
Not from each year.
Okay, I'll swear you in separately. You, sir?
My name is Stephen Conklin. Stephen with a PH.
And you're,
I'm the owner, co-owner with my wife.
okay, thank you.
You can please sit down.
The two of you are sworn, and if you give testimony tonight as an expert, I'll swear you in. Before we start, there's an issue with regard to structures in the right-of-way. Just like the first application, the board cannot give or grant any relief. It's the town, and there's a note that says structures in the right-of-way needing engineering and council approval are deck stone stairs, sidewalk, and 4-foot-high picket fence. So if you go forward today and you receive a denial, you can never come back to the board. So, the same advice, not advice, but recommendation.
We're looking for approval for what's in the property right now.
Well, on this, you're requesting approval of this as well, correct?
You're in the same boat
No,
as,
we're not.
you're not the
No, the
same.
engineering part. Separate application, totally separate. You can't mix between what's on the property and what's in the right of way. Totally separate. You don't even have that jurisdiction to approve that.
Right, that's what we're saying. Aren't you proposing it?
No, not.
It's there?
Not for this board. Not for this board. Not for the Board of Adjustments. That
Well,
goes to
but
engineering.
you can't separate, you're telling us you're gonna separate part of the improvements that are encroaching in the right of way from your application in front of this board?
Of the application.
How do you
for
do that?
The application that goes through engineering, because the right of way, if you look at the property line, it's right on the building.
Huh?
It's like right on the building.
There's nothing that encroaches in the right of way, you're telling us?
No, within this application.
You're a landscape architect or you're a surveyor?
I'm a licensed landscape architect.
I didn't, that was my question, are you a surveyor?
I'm a landscape architect.
Okay.
So then, you really can't provide that testimony.
And the engineer came to our house the other day.
We have a letter.
Yeah, it's a gentleman came from, engineering.
And
Has anybody determined whether or not the street in front of your house is owned by Parsippany or by the association? It is, we know that, okay. But some of the streets out there in Mount Tabor are not. They still
Parsippany just.
fixed it?
Yeah, just repaved it.
Well, that's, okay, I'm not gonna go there.
Well, they were, it's.
Yeah, they've been taking care of the streets for years.
So I have, some existing conditions, I only made 5 copies.
So can we move forward or not?
Again, I think the recommendation should be, is you should go through engineering to resolve those other issues.
So could you explain how we get to this point? I mean, Norrin and I have had a lot of communication over the last, I guess, 5 months. How do we get to this point of having the hearing if we're not able to move forward with the hearing based on the information that we have?
We're not in an administration, we're the zoning board. I don't know if we can adequately answer that question for you. You might want to go back to the zoning officer and find out why this application ever got to us. If we can't hear it.
Requesting approval for what's on the property, and that's all you can approve. So the approval is for the right of way is separate, and we're gonna do that as well, to make the property legal. And that is what, that's basically how the rest of it works. It'd be different if you had jurisdiction over the right of way.
Well, you just heard the case, 2 cases in front of you, and that isn't how we work.
I know that. I know
Okay.
that. That's the way,
Which structure, we on the fence right now?
Yes.
Whatever,
That's in the right of way is the fence, correct?
that's the new side wall.
I don't know whether the surface of the building is an encroachment or not. It wouldn't surprise me in Mount Tabor.
No, it's the front of the building is not, but if you're saying, we're not asking for approval of the entire scope of the entire project, we're asking for approval for the patio that's gonna be on one side, the other
I
patio.
understood that.
So, like, that's where it's,
Understanding how it gets to this.
Yeah, why this issue was not raised earlier, I have no idea. And it's not making you happy, I understand that.
No, I understand from your standpoint, but just because we should have really just eliminated the fence and stuff from the application, even if we planted.
Not if it really enhances your property. What you needed to do is get on the council's agenda, get a lease for that portion of the roadway, because the street is way away from your house.
Okay, so then, the one thing we have to continue to the next time we do that, I guess, but like, as far as like this council's concerned, it's concerning that I've seen 3 applications come forward and none of them were really prepared to come to this case.
Yeah, I don't understand
So like,
where.
how much of a time, like, or volunteers, I'm sure, the time that's wasted and the resources that are wasted by the town is like really.
Wish we had an answer for you, but
I know
we-
you don't
but
have
we-
an answer, but maybe-
And it was literally
none of that is under our
Correct.
jurisdiction.
No, I understand that.
This is
We're
really.
as frustrated as you are.
This is really an
That's what I'm saying.
aberration.
What
They did 11,
I just want to
they
bring
did
up,
11 cases in the
I
last
just
meeting
want to
in
bring up,
December.
that this is, you're gonna prove basically what's on the property, correct? That's what you're mandated to do for the town, to prove what is on their property. Is that correct?
No, we're
Not necessarily.
the variances you're looking for here.
We're looking like the variance, so we're not asking for approval of the fence. The fact that there's a fence being made makes you not be able to prove the property. Is that what you're telling me? Even though we're not asking for approval of the fence, we're not asking for approval.
So the fence is in the right of way.
I
So
understand.
you're,
That's why we have to go to engineer.
yes, your property's in violation now.
Yes.
So before you can even,
No, it's not a violation. We didn't build anything, nothing was built yet. Okay, this is the way they purchased the property. There's no violation.
the property, the fence is in the town's right of way.
There's no fence right now.
So can't we just say that they're gonna eliminate the items from, they're gonna withdraw those items from our thing, John? Can't? What do we, what is,
They have to get rid of the fence.
get rid of the fence, retaining walls?
All of the sidewalks now exist, the walkway, steps.
Yeah, that exists.
How about the deck?
Deck is not.
Deck is on the property.
That's on the property.
It is not.
It is on the property.
It is on the property.
What's that line that's going through? The right-of-way line is, for whatever reason, fuzzy as it comes up along your property, as on at least my copy. And it shows it
Yeah, the deck is,
inside the
again, I didn't. draw
outside
these.
wall.
These were redrawn, so the deck is inside the property, not in the right of way. We don't expect to bring that to the
Well,
hearing.
this survey that I have in front of me is whose?
I did not draft that up.
Do you have one that you drafted up?
I did not bring it here.
But this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
That was a survey that we had through our mortgage agreement.
So this is what you got when you bought the house?
Yes.
And then.
And is somebody else prepared a new survey?
I prepared schematics for where the locations are.
I don't wanna hear about schematics. I wanna hear about a new survey.
We were never asked for a new survey, we were asked for plans for the.
This survey shows the deck is in the street.
That was drawn in by somebody else, not myself, not me, probably the zoning department. It's supposed to be inside the property.
The deck does not exist yet, right?
Does not. So,
Okay, and you wanna propose it as 15 by 18? 15 by 18. Okay.
and if you look at the second set of pictures, right now, there's a kitchen door that is elevated about 2.5 feet. The steps go down into basically the corner of that space. And it's very difficult for the growing family to access that upper portion in reference to having a transition to that upper portion where they have a sitting area. And that's where most of their, they have two young children now.
Obviously, a third on the way in
They're
a
on
few
the way,
weeks.
and we want to make the property safe. If you look at the other place in reference to the engineering, we have to bring forward, because you can't put a fence, there's a huge drop, I'd say about as high as this, about 4 or 5 feet, and there's no fence there now. So that's an endangerment for them, and that's on the right of way.
And the people,
Can I ask a question? This was in our file.
Yes.
Is that something that you prepared?
Yes.
well, not the survey, that's the survey that you were.
This is the survey that you had prepared as part of the purchase of the home.
Yeah.
Everyone down there, it's just a file copy, some more notes than you had on Nora's file.
And?
I would think, Mr. Chow can correct me if I'm wrong, but the other things that would be in the right of way that they want to go to the engineer, if the engineer grants it.
I don't know why they're going to the engineer. The engineer can't grant anything in the right of way.
I understand. When they go to the town and the engineer, they're gonna have to come back here because this isn't gonna be, front yard setback anyhow. So it would make sense, instead of coming back here twice, Well, from what I see here, those things that they're saying that would be,
For the setback variance now.
well, we can't, how do we?
For the deck and the additional patio on the other side.
So then for everything else, the fence, for the structure in the right of way,
Part of engineering.
but
But
they can't give
engineering
variances.
cannot grant private improvements in a public right of way. You gonna get the relief.
There's a specific form that you go to engineering and you request it, you meet with the engineer. The engineers seem to have come out already to take a look
I
at
think they
it.
were coming out in relation to this.
In terms of the sidewalk and the walls.
So what do you do in Mount Tabor then? If you want
No, I agree with you.
a
It's,
walkway in front of your house?
no, I agree with you.
You know.
And everything that was talked about is a safety issue, which is
It's a major safety
more
issue.
important than anything.
It's a significant safety issue in terms of the fencing. That's a significant.
This is a huge drop. And right now, the sidewalk actually doesn't even go to the front walk, it goes to the house, which is inefficient, and we want to remove that and shift it over to where it logically needs to go. It's a very logical design, it's not a really.
It's really just basic home improvement.
Do we ever report from our engineer on this?
I didn't see any, but I didn't get the file.
Nora, you ever seen a report from Lisa on this? And you said you've met with the engineer.
The gentleman came by the house. I forget his name, he had red hair, he had beard, looks like, late 20s, early 30s.
Paul?
Okay.
Was it a Paul?
Yeah, I think it's Paul.
Yeah, he came by, he was just asking what we're doing, I kind of explained everything. His biggest
Brandon
concern was the impervious surface, like you mentioned earlier. So, and he said that it sounded, if anything, I think we're gonna have less impervious surface area than before, but he realized the safety issue really can, like, it really is a very, like, it's.
Oh, yeah, I understand, I know,
The
like,
gentleman who has to read our meter, like, has to, like, shimmy down these, like, this wall, basically, to read the meter. And it's like, really is an unsafe situation, so it is concerning, and like, people walk by there, it's like, at nighttime, you don't even know who's there. You don't even know the, like.
How long have you had the house where it's been this condition now?
That's how for 2 years.
So it's been the same thing for 2
Why
years?
did you buy this house if it was such a
It's a beautiful house, it's a beautiful
property.
neighborhood, it's a wonderful,
I don't understand the relevance of that question. We do have the home and we've been working very hard. to
No, I
stay there. mean,
understand it, but
Concern
look,
what's been
there's only certain limitations that we can work
Right.
under,
But,
okay?
so the point is that over the last 3 years, we've worked very hard to save money. I'm a public school employee, my husband's a nurse, we've worked extremely hard to save some money so that we could do these safety and aesthetic improvements to our home.
And God bless you, I hope you can do them.
And if you
But
notice.
it has to be done in a particular
Notice the
procedure.
pictures, right now, there's a patio, it's a slate
I
patio.
want to go back to this guy that came out and made the inspection. Somebody, one of the board members seemed to know who he was.
It could be Paul Niehoff, it could be Brandon.
Paul Niehoff, who actually worked.
Now, these are
lives in-
engineering
in
inspectors,
Ontario,
right?
and he was-
They work, yeah, they're in the engineering department.
Did he say to you that there's a process that
Well, he said-
the engineering
Provided
department
He
can
told me
grant?
about the earth movement, he told me about,
That's a separate issue.
yeah, so he said that they grant the permit for moving the earth, the steps that we wanted to do, and then he said that with the, right of way, that stairs may have to go into the right of way, because our department does that. And he said that, as far as the, he didn't mention anything about the walkway aspect of it. There currently is, if we bought it, a cement walkway out to the street that's in the right of way, and then.
And those are allowed, walk, like a sidewalk, so to speak,
Right.
although it's your sidewalk, I mean, it's part of your passive.
And there's a slate sidewalk that sort of goes and winds towards the house.
But I think at one point that was the front door.
Yeah.
Now it's not the front door.
So these are honest people who are trying to make a house safer. I don't think these are people looking to get over in any way. What is the opinion of our experts to give them so we could expedite this?
Go back to the.
Again, my suggestion, and Mr. Chow, tell me if I'm wrong, but I understand that you have certain things that are in the right of way. If you bifurcate this, you're just gonna have to come back here again. So if we look at the improvements.
Do you approve things in the right of way?
It's a front yard. So I think that the things that are.
It's not the front yard, it's the right of way. The right of way goes right to the.
Yeah, the house ends are the right of way. Literally, our window, if I stick my hand out the window, I'm in the right of way.
And you're not the only one, believe me, you're not the only one up there.
All this relief is your front yard, your setbacks, right?
Yeah.
So it's a front yard.
That's all we're
All
asking
these
for.
things that they're saying that's in the right of way are in that setback, I believe, correct?
No, it's in the right of way. It's in the right of way. The setback, here's the house. Here's the house. This is the property line right here, right on the house. It's right on the house.
The survey that we have shows that property line inside the front wall.
Oh, right. It's on the house. Oh, no.
When you got your mortgage, do you ever remember any kind of contingencies on that thing? Nothing.
The wall that's like here, this wall you're talking
I mean,
about?
this survey that we keep looking at, this is the survey you got when you bought the house.
Yeah.
All right, this is the only survey we have.
It's right on the house. And we're asking for relief for the patio, to make that corner transition of the house to the kitchen safer to get to.
All right, we're in a lousy season for construction to begin with. My suggestion is that we regroup on this.
It's been a year.
I wasn't even.
I'm not gonna.
We started the process, I wasn't even.
Talk all you want. Go ahead.
It's been a year.
I think you have to understand where we're coming from as homeowners and as with young children, with our changes to our family coming, is that we have worked so hard with Jimmy over the course of, I wasn't even pregnant when we started the process. And we submitted our application in August, and we're waiting and checking. I mean, Nora would attest to that. I've had many emails with Nora, phone conversations, Haley Donnelly, all these people. I can't understand how I would get to this point and then be told, oh, well, we can't do that here tonight. That is beyond me in terms of logic, you know.
And I'm really sorry for it, but it's out of our control. It's absolutely out of our control.
So who does? So why, but town hall, where this building,
what items,
where we're in right now,
what
has provided
items
the
can we
information
actually-
guiding our steps along the way.
Excuse me a second, please. What items can we actually look at tonight?
Yes,
If we were to look at, what items can we look at?
The fence is,
In the right of way.
mm,
There's one fence in front of the carport that's in the property. So there's two fences. The fence to protect the wall.
I got a 4-foot-high picket fence note written on here.
It's up here, it's up here. It's this-
That one is okay. Is that proposed?
By the carport.
Yes.
That is within the property line, correct.
Okay. Then in the right of way, I've got a 4-foot-high picket fence that goes along that stone,
That's
Concrete.
That's in the right of way.
that's in the right of way. We can't do that way.
The stairs are in the right of way too, because we want to transition the side yard.
Okay, and those stairs are new as well.
They are gonna be proposed and installed new.
There's two sets of stairs listed.
Now that you think you have,
The other set's in the property.
In the property.
you have the feeling that the engineering department is going to authorize that.
Yes, if they don't do the stairs, we're fine with that, but the fence is definitely necessary for that safety drop.
The fence, the engineering department does not have jurisdiction on. You're gonna have to go to get relief from the council. And we can't deal with it. We can't deal with that fence along the
Can
walkway.
we get back to answering my question?
Yeah, I'm
please?
going to go through what we can,
What can we actually dwell on this evening?
you
For better- for
could
lack
do the deck.
the deck, but you say the deck, according to the description, is in the,
We're gonna make it as part of the resolution that this,
it's not in the...
it
Okay.
does not encroach.
Okay,
And that's the 15 by 18 deck to the left of the
Yes.
property.
okay, the deck we can do.
And that would be as a condition that the engineer, Parsippany's engineering department would certify that it
Of
doesn't
course.
encroach.
Yep,
Okay.
if we encroach, we're probably not gonna encroach. That was.
No, we won't encroach.
What else,
Let John speak, please. So
The,
John, 15 square feet, 15 square feet, 15 square feet, and 37.5 square feet stone stairs.
stone stairs, no.
No.
Well, there's several stone stairs. Because if you look at the property, if you look at the back property, it's all sloped, and it's just steep, but there has been some old terraces there. There's
Are they in that right of way or not?
That's in the property.
All these stone stairs are on the property.
This is all that's in the property. All these stairs to transition.
We have a list of improvements here.
Stairs A, B, C,
Yeah, can we go down the?
Yeah,
table,
D.
item by item,
Yeah.
in order,
Well, we-
say yes or no?
Yeah.
We have these up on the top here. 180 square foot, 360 square foot, and 80 square foot patios. Are they in the right of way or not?
No. Oh, there.
No?
No.
40 square foot fireplace,
Not in the right of way.
40 square foot and 50 square foot crushed stone pathways,
That is not in the right of way.
not in the right of way.
Everything on,
4 foot high picket fence.
everything on,
Listen to him.
Just,
this is all within the property.
It's yes or no, just yes or no
Picket
right there.
fence, 4 foot high picket fence on this schedule, wherever
On
it
the
may
property,
be.
not in the right of way.
According
Not in
to, but, Mr. Chair, according to the memo we got, it is.
There's several, so when we did the calculations, this is only for your approval, all right? Engineering, those engineering items were supposed to be documented to you so that you understand that there's gonna be a separate application to engineering. We went through everything on this is all on.
Can we go on to the next item, please? 2.5 foot high max retaining walls, in the right of way or not?
Not on the right of way, within the property.
So what is in the right of way?
That's where I was going. He's
There's
got-
stone stairs, the sidewalk, and the 4 foot high picket fence.
It is not in this application.
So that's where the problem is, sir. It's not delineated. So you've given this plat here,
All this thing here.
and the board is having a hard time
Everything, I'm trying to
differentiating,
explain.
let me, differentiating what 4 foot fence you're requesting relief, what stone wall, what stairs. You have so much here, that it's not color coordinated. I think that's part of the problem.
Okay, I understand that, I apologize, but it was brought to our attention that the application going to you is for a variance, and it's all documented in this form.
Okay.
Engineering, anything outside, we're not asking for any of those approvals. There's additional sidewalks that are gonna have to be part of, engineering, and it has nothing to do with this.
So are you in a position to testify this evening using this document and showing us exactly what you want to do?
Yes, and the document that I stated, it says specifically a note where the fence is to protect that fall is part of engineering. There's a little note.
I don't care what's part of engineering. I want to know if you're in a position to testify right now to every item that you're looking for a variance that is not in the right of way. You're doing that?
Yes.
Okay, swear,
Raise your right hand, you swear firm testimony about to give before the board is true self you got.
Yes.
For the record, can you state your name?
Jimmy Lau,
And you're an
landscape architect.
landscape architect, and you have a license?
Yes.
Your license, okay. And you've testified before at other planning boards or zoning boards?
Yes, New York City, yes.
New Jersey?
Yes, in the past.
Okay.
Please spell your last name.
LAU.
Okay, you got the floor. Tell us what you want to do.
Okay. As you can see, this is asking for variance because the actual property line is adjacent to the house. There's several encroachments within the setback. Within, I guess this is a C23. So right now, the setbacks that we're looking for, we want to build a deck right up to the adjacent property line. And this will, and the first, let's go to the first, if you have the pictures.
Maybe I can help speed this along. Your improvements is Coughlin has testified, and your wife has testified, are all based on health, safety of your property.
Yes.
But for the deck, the new deck is for use of the property
Yeah,
as
but
a
also
family.
it allows better access to get to where the driveway is. Currently, my 4-year-old and 7-year-old have to walk in the street to get to the car.
Okay.
I didn't want to say it, I thought it was me. No, look.
I would think that's.
I understand, John, but I want to look at this picture, and I want to see where everything is going to be done.
Okay.
So let's start,
go
the first thing you're talking about is the 15 by 18 foot deck, which is going to sit alongside the main dwelling, correct?
Yes.
And that's going to be within the, it's not going to be in the right of way, you're going to make sure of that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. Let's go on to the next item now. Stone stairs, where are you putting stone stairs?
Which ones?
I don't know, I guess you're supposed to tell me.
One of them will go to the right of the deck leading up to the driveway. Within the
Don't you want your expert to maybe testify to that?
So, I try to use the pictures, because the pictures actually shows a lot. A reference to.
Are we gonna mark that into evidence?
Sure.
Okay, so that'll be A1,
And also the pictures, the existing condition pictures there.
that'll be A2.
Okay.
So let's go back to the list here, and back to this, I appreciate the picture. I want to mark these things off as we go along. 15 square foot stone stairs, the first set of 15 foot square stone stairs, where are they? Are they coming off the deck?
Sorry.
Stone stairs, 8.
So, right now, the deck is gonna be at a higher elevation, and to get to the yard, it needs to be several stone steps to get to the yard. Alright, so that's gonna occur right along here.
Yeah, I understand, it's coming, on
Off the deck.
on the diagram, you've got a set of steps
Yes,
coming off.
that's it, right there.
Okay, that's number 2. That's one of the 15s.
Yes.
Okay, we're making progress, I think.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's 2. Now we're gonna go to another 15 square foot, steps. Where's that one?
So there's one stone steps that goes up to the upper sitting area.
This thing over here, it says 18 by 20 patio?
Over here, this side. All the
Okay,
way up.
over there.
Yep.
Oh, I got you. So
Over
that's,
there.
Where there's,
That's the one I just put, number 2. Where,
yeah.
oh, that's
Well, maybe we
2.
should label it A and B.
Okay, that's 3. Okay, so then we got another 15 square foot, steps.
Yep. So those three 15-foot stone steps are for the patio. 2 of them to transition to the backyard, and 1 of them to transition to the upper sitting area.
Which one's A, which one's B, which
You
one's
got platforms and stuff going on there.
Okay,
I guess
that's
we do
3
A,
and
B, C.
4, all right?
No, A, B, and C.
Yeah,
Whatever. Next
They're
one,
all right,
37 and a half
They're out
square
the
foot
deck.
stone stairs. 37 and a half square foot stone stairs.
Okay, so those are basically inside the property. If you look at the last set of pictures, the property is so sloped. There's some, so we have to build some low walls to terrace it out. And we're gonna need that level of stone steps to transition to these different levels.
Where? Tell me where.
By the 2 patios?
Is it by the 18 by 20 foot patio?
Yeah,
But
by 10?
you might don't have the picture that
Is it right, is this it from here?
Yes.
Okay, that's number, whatever.
So it's where the 2 patios are.
Yes.
Okay.
Why did you select all 15 foot?
37 square foot, 2, 3, 4, that's number 5, okay. Number 5, okay, number 6. 180 square foot by 360 square foot and 80 square foot patios.
Yes. So,
18 by 20 is your 360,
yes.
right? That's one of them, that's 7A. And where is the 180? 180 square foot
That's the
patio?
upper,
8 by 10, I didn't see.
The 80.
Oh, I see, okay, there's the 80, 7B, and we got a 180 square foot patio somewhere.
and
Is
that's
that
the
this
15
one
by
over
12.
here,
That's a
12 by
12?
15?
Yeah, 12 by 15.
12 by 15, there it is, 7C. Okay, we got that far. Now, where's the fireplace, 40 square foot fireplace?
That's in the 5 by 8 fireplace.
Down
By the lower.
I got it, okay, 8, all right, got it, doing good so far. 40 square foot and 50 square foot crushed stone pathways.
So you see the little dots connecting the stairs to the lower patio, and also by the deck adjacent to the kitchen. There's gonna be crushed stone where those little dots, they put those little dots.
You see this?
Yeah.
Somebody see those?
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that right here, I think that's, he's talking about the steps.
Here,
Those are the steps.
Yeah.
To connect the
Okay.
steps to the patio.
okay. Okay, no big, well, no fence.
There's a picket fence, for the carport.
For the carport. This is the 4-foot high picket fence.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 10. And the last one is a 2.5-foot high maximum retaining wall. Where is
And
that?
that's gonna be in the, if you look at the last set of pictures, it's very sloped,
On this map for them.
right here.
Where is that
And
one?
that's in the back,
Oh, stone wall, I see. Okay.
that's in the back
That's-
under
okay.
proposed.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you moving dirt around at all?
Yes.
Up and around the,
We have to-
carport deck area?
No moving there, but we will be moving, soil in the lower part of the property. That upper property, we're just gonna remove the existing patio because it's adjacent to a wall
The
zone,
board, yeah,
and we're just moving it
the
closer.
board feels comfortable that you should condition this on a soil movement permit approved by the engineering department.
So regardless of what happens in the right-of-way, we can give them a variance for these items tonight.
Yes.
We can. Is everybody comfortable with this,
Are you comfortable, like,
I'm-
checking off the list here?
Well, it looks like a no woof for most of this
Yeah.
stuff.
I think you're doing a good job with it.
Nancy?
Yes.
You said yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You know you're gonna have to get it's gonna be subject to a soil moving permit. Now you
Yes.
told us you're moving
Yes.
soil, all right?
You know that.
That's something you have to come back to
Right.
us. We say we like it, we give it to the council, and the council approves it. We cannot approve soil moving. Be aware of that, okay. Anything else you want to add?
That's it.
That's it. Any members of the public that have any questions of these witnesses on the testimony given this evening? I hear none and see none.
Thank you.
Do you want to sum your case, or do you think your testimony is sufficient?
I think I'm satisfied with the testimony.
Any members of the public who wish to speak in opposition to this application, in support of this application? I hear none and see none. Comment? Somebody a comment?
You know,
it's
it's
a-
gonna improve the functionality of their house, it's gonna improve the aesthetics of the house, the safety of the house. You know, I'll be voting for it, and again, all the items on their property line. You know,
So-
Within.
It's,
Behind,
it's,
behind the property line, right.
it's a lot of paperwork, and it doesn't appear, and there's no impervious coverage asked for, is there? No,
Which is really surprising, given all the decks.
there's no impervious coverage, so it's, okay. All right, somebody frame a resolution?
Let's give it a shot. Application 21:77. Stephen and Emily Coughlin, 63 North Place, Block 68, Lot 2, Zone R3. Recommend, granting a C variance to construct, how do you want to state it? All requested variances within the property line?
Within the property, yeah.
Within the property line, contrary to section 430-35, column 4.
And subject to the soil movement.
And subject to
It's
soil.
subject to soil
and
Moving permit.
any comments by
An
the
engineer, and you'll adhere to
Obviously,
engineer.
if something comes up from the engineering department that we haven't controlled. Okay, so there's a second,
Second.
any discussion? Nora, please call the roll.
Berkowitz,
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan,
Yes.
Parikh,
Yes.
Prasad, oh, excuse me, Mazzarella,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Willen,
Yes.
Abraham.
Yes. Results of variance is granted. Let me just say, and maybe we rushed you in the beginning, and we were trying to, please don't think we were trying to push this off. This was very confusing.
Still.
Very, very, very confusing, okay? I don't know if it was the presentation. Most of us up here are not landscape architects, we're not engineers, we're not planners, okay? I've got my professionals, I've got Mr. Holloway down here, I've got Mr. Chadwick, and we depend on them. And I apologize if you think that we gave you the bum's rush, because we really didn't. Okay, we're just trying to do things in a proper manner, okay? And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good luck, thank you for your
God bless.
service. Thank you.
2 weeks?
Where?
2 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
After tonight, it might be 2 weeks.
It's like having an
Take care now.
exercises.
No,
There is the
that needs to be
cow.
part of the application.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir, I think that is we put A1, right?
Yeah, that's evidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep,
Get it back?
yep, no,
After it's all said and done.
Maybe we take a picture.
You want to take a picture of it before you say goodbye?
I have more, I just.
Okay, one more case and we can go home.
The other piece that was an exhibit,
This,
I never got it.
the pictures.
There we go.
Application 2178, Michael Skirty,
Good luck.
30 Waterview Plaza. Boulevard, excuse me, 31 more.
We got
You
that.
can, sure.
You gonna mark them A1?
So,
Will be the sort of tenant rendering, A2 is the architectural.
So we don't have that right now?
They're in the packet, we blew these up because 50 years.
For old people like me, that's good.
Evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Young people like-
Richard Hoff, law firm of Bisgar Hoff. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Michael S. Skirty, DMD LLC. We are here tonight for a use variance in the Waterview Marketplace Shopping Center. Mr. Skirty wants to open a dental practice in the remaining space within the center. As this board may recall, we've been through this drill before with the Urgent Care Center a couple of years ago. The Waterview Shopping Center is subject to a settlement agreement with the council. So anytime we want to do anything that's not specifically permitted in that center, we have to go to the council pursuant to the settlement agreement to get a resolution that says they're okay with it. So we started this process back in the summer. We made the request to the council. They did adopt a resolution. Actually, they authorized a third amendment to the settlement agreement that specifically authorizes us to proceed with this application here tonight. So clearly, council's okay with it, but it is still a use variance, so that's why we're here before you tonight, because the dental office is not a permitted use in the zone. So, while council has approved it, you still get to review it and make sure that we comply with all the variance standards. So, with that sort of background, I think the easiest thing would be to have Mr. Skirty give a little background on what his operation looks like, and we have Mr. Keller here to provide some engineering and planning testimony.
Doctor, if you could raise your right hand, you swear firm testimony about to give the board truth self you got?
I do.
For the record, can you state and spell your name?
Mike Skirty, MRKUSCURTI.
And you have the right to make this application through the owner of the property?
Yes.
And you'll be leasing that piece of property? Thank you.
And for the record, Mr. King, we handed out documents. A1 has been marked. It's the sort of the tenant layout. You can see the D4 space is where the dental office will be. And then A2 will be the architectural rendering that's showing sort of how the interior layout will be.
Thank you.
Mr. Skirty, obviously, given the name of the application, you're the principal with the dental office?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you tell the board, let's start with sort of the practice and what you envision in terms of the size. I mean, obviously, you have the square footage, but why don't we relate that to something people can relate to, which is how many chairs you have, how many employees? Why don't we walk through and start with how many dentists will be
First
his
of all,
practice?
I own and operate two practices right now, one in Bud Lake, one in Mountain Lakes, which is essentially around the corner from the new location, hopefully the new location. The new space will have 13 operatories. We'll probably have 11 full-time employees working there. We'll be open from 11 to 8 with 2 shifts. And it's by appointment only, so we're not gonna have any walk-ins. And, that's pretty much.
And then, when you say 11 to 13 employees, how many, dentists, as
There'll
yourself, would be
two-
on staff
There'll
at
be
one
2
time?
dentists, probably most likely at all time, and if a specialist needs to come in, we would have that would occupy one of those dentist positions, so it'll only be 2 dentists at one time.
And how many patients at a given time? You gotta,
So the amount of
Well-
patients, right, because the way we do it is we stagger, so we'll have 13 operating rooms, but that doesn't mean we're gonna have 13 patients at once. So, because we stagger the schedule in order to accommodate everybody when we have to turn over the rooms. So essentially, you probably have 8 patients in there, maybe 6 to 8 patients at one time. One doctor will occupy 2 rooms, and again, it'll be staggered approach. This way, it's never over-occupied, and patients are never waiting, so when they get there, they're gonna be seated immediately. So there'll be a constant flow in and out. We weren't gonna have the waiting room packed, because it's really not good. It's not good for COVID anyway, so we try to keep the flow as even as possible.
so you indicated you got 2 dentists?
2 dentists.
How many in the front office that,
We'll
when you
probably have
check in?
three people at the front, and then 2 assistants, and maybe 3 hygienists.
Okay.
About it, yeah.
And the office hours typically?
11 to 8 with 2 shifts. Well,
Okay, so-
evening hours are more, suitable.
How about Saturdays?
Saturdays will probably be done by 4 o'clock, 8 to 4.
Okay. You're not open on Sundays?
No.
Closed on Sundays? Okay. And is there anything, this is a typical dental office, right? You do cleanings?
We do we do pretty much everything, general goes, like crown and bridge, fillings, and if we need to do something in the specialty field, we bring a specialist in.
Okay.
We do have one surgery suite in there that can be utilized as a oral surgery suite.
Okay. And you've indicated you have 2 practices currently?
We have 2 practices. One in Bud Lake has 9 operatories, and the one in Mountain Lakes has 4 operatories. This is why we're running into capacity blocks. We just can't accommodate all the patients. A lot of the patients actually come from Parsippany. About 40% of my patient pool is from Parsippany. So it's, it's an easy transition for me.
Goals to close out office and obviously open
Yeah.
up this space here. Okay.
Council, the days, it's gonna be Monday through Friday from 11 to 8, and then Saturday hours?
8 to 4.
8 to 4. Okay, thank you. And close Sunday.
Yep.
And why don't we talk about just sort of some logistics, deliveries, for instance? Do you get a lot of, what kind of delivery trucks and that?
So, yeah, we get some deliveries. It's just UPS, normal stuff like that. And then, as far as biohazards, we have somebody coming, either depending on the volume of patients that we have, will come up and they have, biohazard, receptacles that they actually take, and they give us new ones. So there's never gonna be, it'll always be ready to go.
Do you kind of sign up with those
Yeah,
entities?
Stericycle is the company that I use now, and I have a long relationship. I've been practicing for 20 years. I have a long relationship with them. They know me. They know my volume, so they're gonna set it up accordingly.
Okay, so as you see a flux or more or less, they adjust their
They
schedule?
adjust, yeah, they adjust, yeah. And they're on it's the same day service too, so if I call them, they come in, the same day, if I happen to build up too much biohazard.
And that, the medical waste, is that stored in the building itself?
Yeah, and the receptacles that they provide.
Okay, so they actually give you the program, so
They
to
give
speak?
us, we sign up with them, and it's simple as that.
Okay, so that, nothing goes outside the center, it's all
No,
staying in the
absolutely
space?
not.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, obviously subject to questions from the board on anything more affirmative from Mr. Skird.
Any questions for the doctor?
No?
Yeah, so in regards to your practice, are you gonna be performing, operations, and can you walk me through typical operations? I guess dental implants would be like
service.
the longest type of outpatient surgical procedure that you'll be conducting on this site?
Typically, okay, so
And how long is that, like?
So typically, the services that we provide are a run-of-the-mill general dentistry, which is, crown and bridge. Every now and then, you'll have a longer case. I've heard of the longest case is maybe 2 hours. In that case, we book appropriately, so we make sure that there's no overlay, there's nobody waiting. It's really a big practice builder to have, to have people come in and seat it on time. So I pride myself on that.
How many surgical procedures of that nature during one particular service day would you book at this site?
So they're 1 hour increments, like I said. If whatever procedure can be done within that hour is done. So I do everything from, I'm a neuromuscular dentist by trade, so I'm doing implants, I'm doing sinus augmentation, bone grafting, connective tissue grafts, pedicle grafts, you name it, I'm doing it. So these are all surgical procedures that I provide. Some of them take 45 minutes, some of them take an hour. So that's pretty much how it goes.
So the
I'm really
so the
missing the
patient,
question. Or-
yeah, no, that's okay. So the patient travel in and out pattern will resemble an outpatient surgical facility that you see in Cedar Knolls or in any other location, whether you'll see the in and out of outpatient people from, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding. I mean, it's just like, it's a general dental office. I mean, if you've been to the dentist before, it's a simple, like, yeah, if you're concerned about patients walking out under anesthesia or clumsy, and that's not what we're about, no.
To Ms. Snyder's point, what's like the longest procedure that you'll have in a center like this?
Well, the truth is, I determine that, so I don't like to work over 2 hours, so. 2 hours is it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense, because, I mean, I think we've all seen some outpatient surgical centers, and they just like, they get them in, they get them out, they get them in, they get them out. It's like a revolving door, and I'm just trying to feel out what this commuting pattern is going to be from parking lot to your office.
1 hour. So if you're coming in for a cleaning, you're there for 1 hour. This way we can have the appropriate amount of time to take the diagnostics, to get the clinical exam, to get your cleaning, x-rays, etc. So we allocate typically an hour. It's usually the only kind of short appointments that would accompany a day is going to be like a suture removal. That would be it, a suture removal or an adjustment. The patient needs an adjustment on a denture or adjustment something. That's something that they would call last minute and come in, and that's literally, I'll have a room that's dedicated just for that. Like I said, we're not gonna have, even though it has 13 operatories, one of those rooms is gonna be dedicated for those people that need those quick appointments.
Okay.
This way, there's never wait time.
Right. And then you're gonna have pharmaceuticals, narcotics stored on site?
No,
Okay,
no.
all right. All the questions I have.
Anybody else? Any members is that member of the public with you?
She's with us.
She's you.
She better not ask me.
She better not.
What are you hiding?
I'm gonna state for the record that there are no members of the public in attendance, and I will not be asking for questions from members of the public.
I have one more question.
Sure.
What attracted you to this site in particular versus any other site that's in Parsippany?
Have you seen that mall?
Yeah, I have. Mhm.
Beautiful.
Okay.
It's, I think it's a built-in marketing tool.
Mhm.
I don't think there's a better location for me.
And you will have a spot, I would assume, on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will also not be asking for members of the public to speak in support of or in opposition to, so we can dispense with that. And if there's no other questions for the doctor, you can,
Real quick.
I'm sorry, John.
Signage, your lease, you get to put up out on the main billboard sign?
Yes, sir.
And what are you gonna do in the front of the building? Is it going on
In front
a
of the
awning?
building, whatever signage is approved by the strip mall is the only thing I can put up.
There's all kinds of regulations in that.
I have, yeah.
They
We
haven't done a sign package, they'll do it, and it'll be conformance with the town, or we'll be back here.
Yeah. That agreement that you had to go see the council, well, it's.
I know, that's why
signed
he's
in
gonna
there.
conform to what it.
I know. I gotta, yeah.
Okay,
Call your next witness.
Thank you.
Mr. Holloway, you're okay down there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to call Mr. Keller if I could.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear firm testimony about to give before the board, so yourself you God?
I do.
And for the record, please state and spell your name.
Certainly. Eric Keller, Keller.
And you will be providing planning, engineering?
Engineering and planning testimony. My licenses are in good standing. I have appeared before this board
numerous times.
Hundreds of times.
Mr. Chairman, you can qualify.
Thank you.
And sworn.
Didn't recognize you with your mask, though.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's still me.
Okay, now.
A little older, a
Now
little
I know it's
grayer.
you. A lot grayer.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Owens. All right.
All right, Mr. Kelly, obviously you're familiar with this site. We've been here before.
Yes, I've worked on this site for quite some time. I've been here before on two other applications, Ulta and the urgent care. Actually, no, the Ulta was the planning board, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't remember that one.
Yeah, the urgent care, I was here 2 years ago.
I remember that.
You all know the shopping center, great place. The space that Dr. Skirty's taking is the last space. It is right next to the urgent care. And as Dr. Skirty has indicated, what his practice is about, dental. You know, we feel in general, and I'm trying to be brief, but to cover the bases. The dental practice is beneficial to the community. It is not an inherently beneficial use, but is something that unfortunately all of us need. And I think it, as Dr. Skirty, I'm sorry.
That's whatever.
You know, this is a great location. People are coming here on a regular basis. It's well located. It's easy to get to. He's moving his practice from Mountain Lakes, which is, you know, his existing practice isn't that far away. So it is a very convenient location. As Mr. Hoff has indicated, we had to gain approval from the council because this is a settlement agreement. This is the third time the settlement agreement has been amended to accept this as one of the uses, but we still need a use variance from this board. So we need to talk about special reasons because this is a use variance. This use is not permitted in this zone. Two purposes of planning, I think, are key. Purpose A, to encourage municipal action to guide appropriate use or development of all lands. And G, promoting the purpose of providing sufficient space for a variety of uses, including commercial, according to, you know, various environmental requirements to meet the needs of the citizens. So, I think the relief that we're requesting meets the statutory sufficient space requirement in that this space is available. As Dr. Skirty has indicated, it's a great location. He's excited about being part of this shopping center. And as he's also described, he has a service to take care of the medical type waste. So there are no environmental issues. There are no other deleterious materials on site.
What time is that waste gonna be picked up?
Particular suitability is another aspect that we need to deal with. It's an existing retail center, the site's there, the space is available. This space was originally intended to be a restaurant. And I bring that up because Mr. Holloway raised the question about parking. Yes, the dental office generates a higher parking demand than if this was a general retail, but because this was originally going to be a restaurant space, it actually generates one less parking space than if it had been the Be Good restaurant that was planned for this space. So there was a parking variance that was granted when we were here for the urgent care. So we're actually decreasing that deviation by one space because at the time that we did the urgent care, we had still anticipated that this space was going to be occupied by the restaurant. So there was no increase or exacerbation of the parking variance previously granted. So negative criteria, we do not feel that there's any substantial adverse impact on the public good, the surrounding area, or the zone plan. There are no negative impacts on any improvements. There's no need for additional impervious, so on. All of the activities will occur indoors. There's no outdoor activities. Parking is sufficient based on experience, prior testimony, and not exacerbating the variance. So in conclusion, I would say there are no substantial impairments to the zone plan. Dental offices are permitted in other zones, just not in this particular zone because of the way the settlement agreement was crafted. And the council has amended the settlement agreement to permit this use. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have none.
Any questions? Any questions on the right?
No, sir.
No.
On the left?
I don't know.
Mr. Chadwick, you
No.
okay? Mr. Holloway, you
All right.
okay?
My letter was answered.
Good. You had a light evening over there, Mr. Holloway. Be more involved next week.
Oh, one last thing. All the improvements are on the property. I'm sorry, I had a...
No, done.
Don't screw it up. That's your case?
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing further.
Do we have a need to go into conference?
No.
I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
And why I'm on the fence on this one. And it has nothing to do with your practice. This is now the third time that the settlement agreement will have been amended, and the agreement was made with the neighbors behind this property. And even though it says Mountain Lakes open space, that's inaccurate. That's Parsippany. Okay? There was a certain understanding when the settlement was reached, and it took 5 years to get to that point. And I've watched this settlement get chipped away for the third time now. Now I'm gonna vote yes on this because I think it's legit. I don't have any issues with with this. But I'm getting increasingly concerned that the bill of goods that neighborhood was sold is getting chipped away very slowly. And that's not a perspective I would think this board would have the same understanding I would have.
Why do you say chipped away if, for instance, they said the original use was for restaurant?
Correct.
This is a non-restaurant, it's less, they mean less parking, less cars. Why do you assume that it changes?
That's not the issue.
Okay.
The issue, and me personally, would probably prefer not having a restaurant right there. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But when that Shake Shack came in, that was a big deal for that neighborhood. And that took a lot of work. And that was not part of the original package. Same with that, I believe, was the bank. It was billed to the neighborhood as a high-end shopping market. And all the reasons why that would be beneficial for the neighborhood. And the high-end shopping market now has a burger joint, a bank, and a dentist. And what's next? Every time there's a vacancy, who else is the council gonna allow in there?
But they're only gonna allow them to come before us. And this board still has jurisdiction over the use
I understand
variance.
that.
And if they wanna put a scrapyard in there,
We say no.
or a massage parlor, or something that we're not necessarily happy with, we just say no.
I understand that.
So I think you're okay.
My point is, in this instance, I'm okay. But how many, are we gonna have an attorney 4 months from now say this is the 4th time, this is the 5th time? So all I'm doing, and like I said, I'm gonna vote yes. All I'm doing is raising this awareness to the board so that every time an attorney comes here, I've had the opportunity to express the perspective and the history of this property.
Point well taken.
Good point. Thank you.
Point taken.
This is hygiene, that's why we are approved.
Someone like to make a statement as to why we should approve it?
Sure, I'll make it. I think it is a good use for it. I think you're right next to another medical facility, you're on the corner. I think it's probably needed up there. It fills an empty spot. You're not creating any smells like it's a restaurant or anything like that. It's a very innocuous use, but it's important. And I will be voting for it and recommending my colleagues do so.
Right, thank you. Somebody frame a resolution. There's no wild cards here. This is just a straight use variance, right?
Yep. I will do it. Application 21:78, Michael Scruti, 30 Waterview Boulevard, Block 421, lot number 29.03, Zone R-C, to grant D variance to operate a dentist office.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Is there a second?
Jaskowitz.
Any discussion? Nora, call the roll.
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Mazzarella.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
Willen.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Variance
Thank
hearing.
you.
Bernie, how was this, call like this? How did it work out?
Good luck.
Good luck, yeah, thank you.
Don't eat so many Shake Shack burgers.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I don't know how we can control that.
What's that?
You gotta just
remember, get
yell
one
out,
dental
because like I said, I can't see you. I turned everything
That's
around.
illegal.
If I had my laptop, I could have put the camera forward and, yeah, which I'll try and do it for you. I just want to make the board know that, in the future, if there's a situation where you cannot attend the meeting in person, but want to participate in the meeting, if you let me know in advance, I will have my daughter set up one of her Zoom calls.
Thank you. That's great.
We don't pay for them, my daughter has an account. It's just like a phone call, so we don't need any, and I checked with the administration, everything is cool.
You too.
Motion to adjourn?
So
Motion so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Good evening.
Okay, Bernie, take care, I'm gonna sign you off. Good night. Take care now.
Oh, come on.
Maybe, next time you call in.
You're gonna have fun in this.
We don't need to use the official.
What if your wife answers?
Bring me cookies.
No, it's a phone